A stately home, once Europe's largest private house, in a glorious wooded setting. It's in Staffordshire, right at the heart of England, just 40 miles north of Birmingham and perfectly placed between the M1 and the M6. As you admire its dignified tranquility, it's hard to believe that this is the crowning glory of a unique achievement that draws more than 2 million visitors a year. They come, quite simply, for the day out of a lifetime. Because this isn't merely a stately home, this is Alton Towers, Britain's great entertainment success story. Rated number 5 among the world's finest leisure parks, Alton was also voted Britain's most outstanding tourist attraction by the British Tourist Authority, and it's easy to see why. Up to now, nearly £70 million has been spent on theming more than 100 exciting attractions into the Alton estate. The fun starts the moment you arrive. Alton's graceful silver ride monorail whisks up to 5,000 passengers an hour from the ample car parks to the main entrance in a matter of minutes.
We are now approaching the Grand Canyon Rapids, beyond which the world's longest log flume can be seen.
On board, a brief commentary by a member of the Alton staff whets your appetite for the treats in store, and you can get a tantalizing sneak preview through the trees. Towers Street is your introduction to the park, a handsome boulevard lined with high-quality shops and boutiques. While the World Bazaar offers colourful craftwork for the home that has everything, the Wentworth exhibition celebrates one of the great names in ceramics. The story is told with imaginative displays, and there's even a potter on hand to provide a living link with the past. Next door, the Bond Street boutique offers the ultimate in prestige presents by Cartier, Gucci, and Yves Saint Laurent. There's even a bank in Tower Street in case you've left your cash at home, complete with foreign exchange for overseas visitors. At Alton, they've thought of everything, including getting you in the mood with the help of dancers and jugglers, a magician, stilt walkers, and cuddly bears. And here the fountains really do play, their jets arching like frisky caterpillars. Leaving Tower Street, you'll find that the mood at Alton is ever-changing. Whether you take the low road or the high road, there's never a dull moment. If you're feeling lazy or you're not as mobile as you used to be, the £6 million Sky Ride is the only way to travel. Gliding in great glass bubbles and soothed by soft music, you soar above the treetops over one of the most breathtaking views in Britain. It's a totally new dimension, an experience that can't be matched anywhere else in the country. Combining pleasure with efficiency, always the keynote at Alton, the 54 gondolas, each carrying 12 passengers, can transport 6,000 visitors an hour, including those in wheelchairs. By contrast, if it's high excitement you're after, the ultimate in white-knuckle rides are ready when you are. Like the famous corkscrew in Festival Park, one of 5 main themed areas where thrill-seekers are temporarily parted from their stomachs. Strictly for none but the brave in Fantasy World, there's the new black hole, which makes the old one look distinctly tame. This pitch-dark space ride plunges you round impossibly tight bends and down seemingly sheer drops. And challenging the boldest landlubbers is the pirate ship, where passengers who want to keep up with the Davy Joneses can do just that, with a touch of terror thrown in. But at the gentler end of the scale, there are charming rides the whole family can enjoy, like Around the World in 80 Days, a colourful gondola trip round an enchanted lagoon with a different serenade for every ingenious setting. And swanning about is actively encouraged at Alton's Aqualand, where graceful vessels offer a tranquil 10-minute cruise in perfect safety. Nearby, Do You Fancy a Cuppa takes on a whole new meaning. The delightfully designed teapot ride will leave you stirred but not shaken. And just think, there are still more than 90 attractions to go. In fact, there's so much at Alton that you need at least a full day to do it justice. What also makes it dazzlingly different is that it's kept spotlessly clean by a team who are themselves smart and unfailingly helpful. From Easter to October, Alton is a never-ending party, and the great house beams on it like a dowager who's let her hair down. Amazing to think that until the early 19th century, this was a bleak, barren valley. Then the far-seeing 15th Earl of Shrewsbury began an extraordinary transformation scene and gave Alton the other precious element that its competitors can never hope to imitate, the fabulous gardens. With dozens of gardeners and craftsmen, he created lakes, pools and fountains, notably the Chinese pagoda with its 70-foot plume of water. The Earl employed the architect Robert Abrahams to design the magnificent conservatories. And to give it all the grandest imaginable backdrop, he began the planting of thousands of trees and shrubs, many of them rare and exotic. Little wonder that it says on his memorial, "He made the desert smile." There's still a gardener in the smiling desert who's been here since 1924, when the estate was bought by a group of local businessmen. He says the very best time to visit the gardens is the third week in May, when there's a riot of azaleas, rhododendrons, magnolias, weeping cherries, and many, many more. Even the great American leisure parks could never compete with this. They started 150 years too late. Setting the seal on Alton's all-round excellence is the planning and management needed to combine ancient and modern and display the best of both. One of the most popular rides is the giant log flume, naturally the longest in the world, because Alton Towers doesn't aim to be second best at anything. There's only one trip on a man-made waterway to equal it, and that's here too. Alton's sensational Grand Canyon Rapids. Carved out of a massive 12 acres, the river snakes and eddies uncannily like the real thing. Safe in round, buffered rafts, the riders feel like pioneers, surging on 2.5 million litres of water past cliffs and boulder islands and flanked at one stage by twin waterfalls. Brilliantly landscaped, it's an exhilarating 6-minute voyage of discovery. Because the raft bumps banks and rocks at random, it's different every time you're on it. With an eye on the uncertain British climate, John Broome, the man who created the new Alton Towers, has made sure there's plenty of indoor entertainment too. The resident circus, with up to 5 performances a day, showcases top international acts. There are also 2 special effects cinemas and the Alton Theatre in Talbot Street. That houses Alton's highly original fountain show, where light and colour synchronise with music in a delicate water ballet. The recreated Victorian thoroughfare hides other surprises behind its attractive facades. The superb dolls exhibition is the finest collection of antique dolls and toys in the country, beautifully displayed and easy to see. And the vintage theme has accelerated with the addition of the Motor Museum, where models like the lovely 1911 Austin shooting brake reflect the style and opulence of the old house itself. Just 13 years later, the nearby Cheddleton paper mills took delivery of their magnificent new fire engine. Elsewhere at Alton, inside and out, the variety of rides and shows is almost bewildering, appealing to every age. Naturally, it's a children's paradise. There are even specially designed areas just for little ones, like Kiddies Kingdom, where trained staff give mums and dads a breather, while the youngsters have the time of their lives. The average visitor spends 6 hours in the park, and enjoying yourself is hungry work. That's why Alton Towers has a range of restaurants and kiosks to cater for every taste. If you want to take your time and splash out a bit, there's the Swiss Cottage restaurant, which overlooks the gardens. Backshaw's in Tower Street is the latest in free-flow self-service. And if you're in a real hurry to get back to the rides, the Talbot, Europe's largest fast food restaurant, can feed 2,000 an hour. Normally, where there's fast food, there's litter, but not here. An efficient task force keeps the whole park tidy, preserving Alton's enviable reputation for cleanliness. And if Alton is the tidiest leisure park this side of the Atlantic, it's also the one where there's the greatest sense of security. Parents bring their children knowing they'll be thoroughly entertained and perfectly safe. Where visitors genuinely come first, as they do here, they very often have to pay through the nose for the privilege. But at Alton, you only pay once. The entrance fee covers all the attractions, and parking is free. You could go on the Grand Canyon Rapids 10 times if you wanted to, and it still wouldn't cost you a penny more. So that's one of the park's great secrets. Quite simply, it's terrific value for money. A secret shared by Alton's 2.25 million visitors a year, who make a beeline for the park from all over the world. And in 1988, they'll get even more for their money. New attractions planned will make Alton more irresistible than ever. Alton Towers is special because it cares. It's beautiful, wholesome, safe, and above all, hugely enjoyable. It has a talent to amuse at the right price, combining the traditions of the past with the most exciting technology of the present to lead Britain's leisure industry into the future. Alton Towers.